This is a fraudulent press conference, okay? He's misrepresenting the U.S. Chamber of Commerce.
Today, the country's largest business lobby, the Chamber of Commerce, got punked. It began early this morning when a press release went out, purportedly from the United States Chamber of Commerce, that said that the chamber was taking a very dramatic step. They would be switching positions on climate change legislation. Amazingly, the release said that the chamber would now support this legislation that it's spent months fighting against. Reporters were surprised and probably confused at this odd turn of events, but that was nothing compared to what actually happened at the press conference when it was held later on this morning. Watch this tape.
Clean coal is a technology that has not only not been proven, it basically doesn't exist.
Okay, this is, I'm Eric Wolfschlegel. I'm with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. This is not an official U.S. Chamber of Commerce event. So I don't know what pretenses you're here. I know some of you in the press world, but this is a fraudulent press activity and a stunt.
Who are you really, sir?
And do you have a business card? Are you with the U.S. Chamber?
I do. We can discuss afterwards.
Okay. Can I see your business card?
Can I see yours? If you would like to have a press conference, you can have your own press conference, sir.
What is your position?
But you can't come in here and barge in and interrupt our press conference.
What is your position? What is your position at the Chamber of Commerce?
I just spoke my position.
What is your title and your official title at the U.S. Chamber?
I'm the assistant to Mr. Donahue.
Okay. This guy is a fraud. He's lying. This is, a stunt that I've never seen before. So if you'd like to actually talk to the legitimate Chamber of Commerce, I've got my business cards outside. This gentleman, I will assure you, does not have any business cards, and he's not legitimate. This sign-in sheet here.
I'm sorry, excuse me, sir. We rented this room.
Yes.
You're going to have to refund us.
Fraudulently.
You know what, excuse me?
Under fraudulent. It's fraud. It's illegal. Anyone else want my business card?
Yes.
Come on outside, please.
Does the Chamber support climate legislation?
Thank you. There you are. There you are.
Thanks.
Who are you?
I'm Kate Shepard.
With?
Mother Jones.
And that is how you punk at the Chamber of Commerce. The fake Chamber of Commerce guy at the beginning was one of the infamous anti-corporate pranksters known as the Yes Men. The guy who was really mad at the end was not. Joining us now is the woman who you just saw at the end of that video. She is a real reporter for Mother Jones, Kate Shepard. Kate, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
So at the end there, he demanded to know who you are because he thought you were part of the hoax.
I think he might have thought that it was a little bit questionable. The folks who were setting up the hoax had invited a number of activists to come in and sit in as reporters, but there were also a number of real reporters there who thought this was a real press conference, and up until the point where he walked in and started yelling, thought that this was a change on the part of the chamber.
Well, which of those camps were you in? Did you know that this was going to be a hoax? Did you figure it out? Did you believe the initial press release?
I received the press release this morning at about 9:30 a.m. and I thought it was real for about a half an hour until luckily someone tipped me off to the fact that it was a hoax. One of my sources let me in on the fact. But went over to check it out and see what would happen. I did not know it was the Yes Men until I arrived and found a Yes Man at the podium. Just thought it was a regular old band of activists, but came in to find one of the infamous Yes Men at the helm here.
So, walk me through how this goes. The fake Chamber of Commerce guy, the Yes Man guy, gets in front of the room, and some reporters around you think it's legitimate and think that the Chamber of Commerce is completely changing its point of view on climate change, and some people are in on the joke.
It's seen that way, yeah.
Okay. And how did the rest of the press corps react when the real angry, pencil behind the ear Chamber of Commerce spokesman came into the room and confronted the fake guy?
There were a number of people who just seemed utterly confused. They were asking, which one's the real chamber? I mean, have they really changed? I mean, who's this guy running in? Like, which one do we believe? The actual chamber representative had his business cards available and offered some commentary at the end.
He was very insistent on the business cards being the thing that proved his authenticity.
Apparently, but as we saw in the press release, it's pretty easy to mimic someone's official seal.
Right, exactly. Well, during your cameo appearance in the video, the real Chamber of Commerce spokesman gets kind of confrontational with you. The question that you asked was, does this mean that you're not changing your position?
I actually hadn't asked a question.
Oh, you hadn't?
I just wanted his business card to make sure that it was, in fact, the person I thought it was. But I dealt with this individual before, so I knew him to be an actual representative of the Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
So, but we've had Mother Jones has been reporting about a lot of the chaos surrounding the Chamber of late, with businesses leaving the group in protest of their climate policy. So they have not been particularly big fans of our work on that issue.
And it has been a rough few weeks for the Chamber. I mean, they are membership-based organizations. The businesses belong to the Chamber. That's what gives them their power and their stake in Washington, in addition to the money that they spend. And their membership organization, the organizations that are members of them, have been leaving specifically on the climate change issue. From your reporting, are you able to tell if that's becoming a crisis for the Chamber?
It's clear that it's becoming a PR crisis for them, and they don't really know how to handle it. In the past few weeks, several large utilities have left, PG&E, PNM, Exelon, and then Nike left the board, and Apple's leaving. So it's really been a lot of high-level businesses leaving the group. And then on top of that, last week my colleague Josh Harkinson reported that the Chamber has been inflating their numbers for years, saying that they have 3 million members, when in fact the real number is somewhere in the neighborhood of 200,000 to 300,000. So overnight their numbers dropped by 90%, when they had to clarify that no, in fact, they did not represent 3 million businesses. So they've issued all kinds of press releases in the last week. They've done different press events, and they've really been trying to clarify their position on climate change. But it's been really hard for them, as they see a number of big name businesses leaving the group.
Yeah, and I will say, in terms of their tactics, the spokesman knew enough to not answer the direct question or say, listen, we want to make it clear that we are still totally against the climate change legislation and we totally believe in clean coal. I mean, the idea of the Yes Man style prank is that corporations, or whoever the villain is, whoever the victim is of these pranks, is forced to define an unpopular stance in opposition to the pranksters. And they knew, this guy at least knew enough to not do that and just say, it's a hoax, it's a hoax, it's a hoax.
Exactly. He knew enough not to try to say, no, trust me, the Chamber really doesn't want to do anything about climate.
Right.
And that's been the hard spot they've been in. They've been saying all along that they don't believe in any of the climate legislation that has circulated on the Hill. But now they're trying to say that they could believe in climate legislation passing, and that it's a good thing, but just not anything that they've ever seen.
Just not anything that's real.
Right.
Yeah. Awkward.
And at the same time, they've been denying climate change is happening in other press materials. So.
Kate Shepard, reporter for Mother Jones. Nice to see you.
Thanks
for coming in.